How you doing? Welcome back to the Herbie Design Code Workshop. Welcome back to another episode of Business Bites. This one is about price wars. Price wars are for supermarkets, not for makers, not for woodworkers, not for metal workers, not for furniture makers. Leave the price wars up to the supermarkets. It's inevitable you're going to get someone come knocking on your door wanting something made, and they're going to go, oh look, but I can get that made at IKEA, and I can get that desk from IKEA, and it's only going to cost me this much. You know what? To them I say go for it. Enjoy IKEA, have fun at IKEA. When it fails, when it falls apart, come and see me and we'll make something. I got in at the start of 2020, coronavirus landed, we all went crazy. I started working from home. I worked on the kitchen table for a little while, and eventually went, you know what, I want a desk of my own. So I built myself a desk. I then used that desk to market into making other desks for other customers. It was affectionately termed as the Corona desk. I had a good mate of mine who saw it on my social media and went, you know what, where was that desk a week ago? Because I just bought this thing off Kogan and I've got it here, and before I even put it together I can see it's not even sturdy. He put it together and it just wobbled like nothing else. He couldn't work on it, couldn't type because it just kept wobbling. 2 weeks later he came to me and said, hey look, I really need one of your desks. Hook me up, can you make me a desk? There was no way on earth my desk was going to cost him what the Kogan desk cost him or what an IKEA desk cost him. It costs a lot more, and that's because he knew that he was getting quality, and he was happy to pay that because he knew he was going to get a quality, sturdy piece of furniture that he could work on for years and years and never have a problem with it. Don't try and sell yourself on your price. There's always going to be someone out there who's going to be cheaper. I spoke in one of my other videos in Business Bites about fire pits that I used to make when I first started. When I first started, I was selling my fire pits for $60. Now, $60 is a lot for a fire pit, in my opinion. It was kind of on point with where I was at in terms of materials and time and what it cost me to make it, with a little bit of profit on top. But compared to what everyone else was doing, a lot of guys doing the same thing, the 44-gallon drum, cut in half, selling it for $20, $30, some of them up to $50. Nobody was doing a half drum or third drum, as I was doing mine, above $50. But I went, you know what? I need $60. $60 covers my costs. It gives me profit. I then worked out that I was the only one on the market who were actually refinishing them properly. Some people would cut them in half and sell them, and that was it, done. Other people would cut them in half, put a few holes in it for air holes, and sell it. Some were burning them out to get rid of the oil and get rid of some paint and selling them like that. I went to another level. I went to the level of removing the excess oil, burning it out so there were no contaminants and no issues for the customer when they got it and toxins coming out of it. I burnt off the exterior paint off the outside of the drum. I hit it with a wire brush on the angle grinder or a flappy disc and clear off all the old paint and then refinish the thing in a high temp paint designed for brake calipers. That then meant that my fire drums were finished, potentially in any color that a customer wanted, but finished with a paint that was rated up to 1,000+ degrees. Now, no little fire drum is ever going to handle that sort of temperature, but it meant that it was going to last. It meant that when people looked at the picture of my ad on Facebook Marketplace and the picture of somebody else's ad on Facebook Marketplace, you could see a quality made product. And that's why I had people lined up for months waiting for a fire pit. You'll never sell and compete on price. Your quality and your brand is always what you're going to sell on. You need to be able to show people that you're producing the best quality, and that way they will be happy to pay it. They'll understand that what they're getting is something that's going to last. It's going to last a lifetime. It's going to last generations. If you start competing on price, you're only cheapening your product, you're cheapening your brand, and you're cheapening your interaction with that customer. Because when they come back, they're going to expect that they can keep getting things at low prices. For me, I've had people who have said to me that something's too expensive, and I've said that's fine. Good luck. Let me know if you have any issues finding something else and want me to get back in and discuss it again. 2 times I've had a customer come back to me after refusing a quote. I've given them a quote. They said, no, sorry, it's too much. I said, that's the best I can do. Let me know if you have any other questions. They've come back to me a week, 2, 3 weeks later after doing research themselves and said, hey, is that quote still available? Can we still make that happen? Because they've recognised that I'm upfront with exactly what it's going to cost. I'm upfront with exactly what they're going to get, and there's nothing hidden. They know that what they're getting is a quality product. I'm not going to try and compete with any other maker in town. I'm not going to compete with any other maker in the area that is trying to sell the same product that I'm selling. I sit at markets with resin serving trays, and I see people across the way with the same stuff, selling them at half the price. But at the same time, I look at the quality of what I'm putting out and the finish, and I look at the quality of what they're putting out. I had a discussion on Sunday at the markets with another maker who was selling resin boards. Her first time, I think she was charging maybe $50 for resin river boards. Mine were upwards of 150 plus. Even that's cheap in my opinion. I'd sold out. I had none left. And that's another topic to get into, which we'll get into on another video. But I'd sold out of all mine. She hadn't sold any, because people were able to look at it and go, you know what? Yes, this is really cheap. This is a super cheap product for what it is, but it doesn't have the quality. And they'd come across to my store and go, that's a much better quality. That's the product I want. And they'd be happy to hand over the money. Sell your quality, not your price. Remember, price wars are for supermarkets, not for furniture makers.